It's a great job, this, actually, being in front of you on a Monday night, because I get to meet so many wonderful people, and I get the privilege of introducing them. And that is a phrase that is sometimes overused by people on television, but it really is a privilege for me to introduce this guest tonight. He was previously scheduled to be here, but ill health kept him away, but he's made it tonight. And I want you to go absolutely wild for the one and only Steve Evans!
Thank you very much. Really? Oh dear. It's your own time you're wasting. Is the microphone on? Because I tend not to listen to myself. It is on? Super. So welcome. It is lovely to see all of you. Thank you ever so much for coming. My name is Steve Evans, and yeah, this is my lecture. It pleases me no end to be able to present it here. But really, what I consider to be the home of magic, I'm so happy and privileged to be a member here. And there is a tale of me getting this badge, which I will be sharing with you later, which has to be given some context, so I won't be sharing it just yet. So I love how the dynamic works in this audience. You ask people to come and lecture. And excuse me for seating, but I have a standing sort of thing, an energy issue. But people come to lecture, and they tell you that when they perform in the real world, that their routines go this well or that well, and they're actually performing routines to a room full of people who are simply judging them. An environment that you would only ever normally encounter in court, to be perfectly honest. And I do speak from experience. Because one or two of you are probably picking up on the accent. Probably picking up on the accent. And it is true to say, dear friends of the Magic Circle, I'm not from these parts. No, Kent, in case you're wondering. It's been terrible, the Dartmouth crossing tonight. The winds, they were awful. I was guessing. It's what they always say on the news. So I'm going to start with a card trick. And it's a card trick that is heavily associated with the Magic Circle's, one of the Magic Circle's most famous sons. And it is possibly the card trick. I'm going to have someone think of a number, someone over here. And I'm going to have someone over here select a card. Ideally, of course, if it was done in its purest form, someone over here should simply think of a number. And someone over here should simply think of a card. You obviously don't know me. That's not happening. I did buy the book. Let's not talk about that. Right, so. Well, they said, I said, is it in his second book? They said, yes, it's all explained. I said, are you sure? They said, yes. For those that really want to know how that trick's done, there's a special DVD and there's a special, you can buy the author's special edition of the book. So I bought it, and I'm told that there isn't one that's written in Polish. There isn't one. But I couldn't read the one that I'd got, so I'm afraid this is the version of the trick. We have a number. I would like you to think of a number between 1 and 52. I'm going to come over here, and the gentleman sitting next to Mandy. Hello, sir, what is your name? My name is Paul. Paul, and of course you have the obligatory Magic Circle, closed body language, your arms. Oh, now you're thrusting your groin at me. Now... I don't travel south very often, and you can see why. Because things that are considered to be normal social activity where you live, Paul, where I live, that means you're engaged. And you weren't intending that, I can see it. So, I'm just going to riffle down. Don't worry, mate. It's not that sort of trick. So, just say stop at any point, and that'll be fine. Say stop at any point. There. When I did this for the junior day, all the kids, hello Terry, how lovely to see you, my friend. All of the kids, that is your card, Paul? Yep. All of the kids, I forgot they were children, because they're magicians. And if you say to a 12-year-old, say stop at any point, he will say stop at any point. And he will find that hilarious. And then It isn't a joke that's been heard once, never to be heard again. No. You then have a room of people who are all waiting for their turn to be able to say, anytime you like. Fabulous. I almost got into trouble. Apparently, beating them isn't allowed now. All I'm saying is, you know, people don't refer to Wolverhampton as 1937 for no reason. That's all I'm saying. We just do things differently there. Hayden, my special friend with beautiful socks, may I say, it's nice that you've been allowed out, especially for this. I must sit down because I'm enjoying myself far too much and the breath will go. In fact, Paul, lovely to see you. It won't be considered heckling. It would be if someone else shouted it out. So please don't get the idea I'm that interactive. Paul, if I stand up, can you say sit down for me? Because I've just forgot. Yeah. Hayden, what number would you like? Not too small or not too big, because I'm not that good at palming. Well, it's best to point it out. Well, you know, it's only a little lecture. What number between 1 and 52? Not too small.
12.
Pardon?
12.
27. Right, now. You can try people's patience even at a distance, mate. Are you difficult to speak to on the phone? Right. 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you'd have said 11, your card? No. Otherwise, I'm using the wrong force card. It's a problem. It's a problem. Your card was? At position number 12 in a very freely shuffled deck. Thank you. I was a children's entertainer and very proud to be one.
Sit down.
Thank you. Now, our new arrivals, that was arranged. Because I know what you're thinking, oh, that bloke's one of those people where you can shout out. Well, firstly, I would say probably not. Purely because I'm limited on time. I don't mean globally. I mean this evening. Got a train to catch. But, you know, if you want to shout out, please feel free to do so. But almost all of you know me in here, which is why you're all being very well behaved, may I say. You can almost smell the tension. But there is someone sitting directly behind you, Paul, in a lovely two-piece of a three-piece suit, who I don't think I know. And he's looking quite excitable, thinking, well, there's nothing in this for me so far. I'm a professional magician. He just seems to be chatting in some version of Old English. Hello, matey. What is your name? Nick. Nick. Oh, I came here in February, and there was a man, and his name was Nick, but you look nothing like him. I notice he's not here tonight, probably just as well. Because he came out, and I said, what is your name? He said, my name's Nick, but I don't remember yours. And it sort of went downhill from there, to be perfectly honest. I don't think he came back. But apparently, at some point in the next 18 months, if they reduce his medication, he will be able to start going out by himself. So, yes. So, Nick, nice to see you, son. This is milk. I know, hilarious. What can I do? I'm just one of those people. I just find the funny, don't I? And so I was here at the J-Day, right, on this stage doing the lecture, and afterwards they got a bit annoyed because I came on and it stopped the juniors. The juniors got a bit annoyed when my lecture started because it stopped them getting Marvin Burglass's autograph. So, you know, what can you do? So at the end, we were all in the club room, and a 10-year-old boy person about this big came up to me. I was sitting on the chair, and he went, all right. It's a good start to a conversation, I suppose. I said, yes, mate. He said, I do magic at school to stop bullies. He said, it happened in the club room when I was here a few weeks ago. He was about that big, got his mate with him. He was even smaller. And I said, all right. I said, well, I didn't do magic at school. I said, but, you know, it's a life skill. I said, having magic, being able to do magic is a life skill. And it's a good thing to have, to be able to do. Excuse me if I try to belch every so often. It's just part of my stuff. And So he said, oh, right. He said, were you bullied at school? I said, oh, I was a bit, you know. I said, yeah. I said, but you do get bullied later on in life. And I said, he said, oh, well, how do you deal with that then? I said, well, he didn't know that I worked in the security industry. And I said, well, I've got a different way of doing it. But on my phone, I have a picture of my lead doorman, Corbo, who's about 24 stone. So I showed this 10-year-old a picture of my doorman, Corbo. And I said, that's how I deal with bullies. And I expected him to go, oh, but he didn't. No. He went, he's a big unit, isn't he? 10. He's a big unit. He said, I bet he can do some damage. And then his mate says, does he collect debt? And I said, no, mate. He said, oh, that's a pity. There's a kid at our school owes me a right wedge. 10. 10. It's a different world, different world. So children's entertainers, close-up magicians, often you'll find that close-up magicians work in the world of children's entertainment. I'll condense this down. I have the highest respect for children's entertainers, but how much members of the public do, I'm not sure. But we have to take that on board in one scenario, and that is when we encounter members of the public and we want them to give us work. And if you find yourself in a restaurant, in a family environment, and you've got the children at the table, and you've got Grandad, and Grandad's a person who perhaps organises charity fundraising events at the golf club. He's a person who you're going to want him to have your business card, because he's going to get you lucrative close-up work. That's what your target is. And you do your best routines, and he has no idea why you are not on the telly. You are the best magician he has ever seen, because you probably are, to be perfectly honest. Because, you know, we in this room are the only people who probably know a magician. It's settled, let it settle, because you all know it's right. Look at your Christmas card lists. And if you've split them up, it'll work itself out. One of the lists is rather longer than the others. It's that simple. And you want to perpetuate that, but as soon as you leave the table, all of the magic has been centred around the young granddaughter or the young grandson, and you want to leave them with a present, so you make a teddy bear out of a balloon, which is beautifully crafted. It's a free gift, and you give it to them, and immediately Grandad switches off. You're then a children's entertainer, and any hope of you getting any work from him as a close-up has gone. That isn't true, of course, but it's true enough to make a point. And then I came up with this. So I came up with a solution. And it's this. When you give away the teddy bear, it comes with an ownership certificate, which you have to fill in. Now, this evening, we're going to have, for the purposes of hilarious comedy, I'm giving it out into the audience, Mr. President. I've got faith. And my fingers crossed. Right. Gentleman on the end, for purposes of entertainment, what is your name? Ian. I know, but I just thought I'd ask, otherwise it shows too much familiarity. Ian, you are, for the purposes of this demonstration, Grandad. Because it would be too easy to pick on Terry. Because Terry is a natural Grandad. And he's looked upon it as that sort of matriarchal figure by most of the people in this room, who are probably grandparents themselves. So, what was it I said when you were comparing the kids' champs at Blackpool? And Terry brought me on, because I was backstage working, he brought me on for an applause thing. And so I got Terry his thank you. And I said, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me the most incredible pleasure to stand on this stage. And I'm remembering this live now, I haven't practiced it. And the line was something like, that this man is a legend. This man is a legend in magic. There are people in this room who are retired, who were taught by that man. And you know, I didn't mean it to sound like that. I'll sit down. Ian and Mandy, you are a young person, and for the purposes of this, you are the granddaughter. I'm not stereotyping, it's just that you're a young woman. Now, you can decide, right, what the name of the teddy bear is. So you've got a teddy bear there. I could have made one, but what's the phrase I'm thinking of? I couldn't be... That's the one. That's the one. You said I'd got to get it right for here, didn't you? Yeah. Yes, you said yes. Thanks. So, Mandy, what is the name of your new invisible teddy bear? Graham, which is the same name as your lovely brother. Your lovely brother who set me up so beautifully in front of a large IBM audience. When he used a word that I didn't know what it meant, Mr. President, it was a young person's colloquialism. It was two words which knocked. And the other word, if we take out of context, is the opposite to down. And when you put them together, I was led to believe meant courting. But apparently, Mr. President, it doesn't mean that at all. It means something more imminent. Now, intimate, that's the word I'm looking for, which is perfectly all right in certain circumstances, but not in front of the British ring of the IBM. Because let's face it, if they had a junior section, Terry would still be in it. It's my last lecture, Jack. It's my last lecture. It's my last ever lecture. It's my last ever time on stage, Jack. I'm not going to do any harm. You know, I can't walk anymore, mate. Fine. And in teddy bear years, how old is the teddy bear? 10, which is the same mental age assessment as your brother. Bless him. Right. And, Grandad, and what is your pet name for your granddaughter? I know, it's very funny, because, you know, sometimes you can have a bit of a creepy element in your show, but I've never felt comfortable doing that. But what you have to do is look for someone in the audience who you think is possible of doing it for you. Well, all I'm saying is, Ian, you know, you'll know whether it's funny, mate, because if you go over the edge with what you say, this face will tell you all you need to know, because the happier I am, the more in trouble you potentially are. OK, what is the name of the granddaughter? You don't have to get out the chair, mate, really, because you'll never get past either of them, and he ain't very pleasant either, so. Sweetie. And how are you spelling Sweetie? Because it has to be spelt in a way that I've previously been able to predict. Do you know, sometimes, Jack, it should stay there, shouldn't it? It should stay there, but it just slips out. So are we spelling it S-W-A-E-T-I-E? Would that be OK? What would that... Would that be sweaty, would it? Oh. Oh. Let me just get rid of that then. With an I and an E on the end? I-E. Thanks for that, Graham. Well, you know, to be perfectly honest, you made me as funny as I needed to be, so that's well enough. Are you all right with that, with an handkerchief of that size, Terry? Oh, be very careful, because, you know, I know what it's like. Prepared. Oh, dear. Steve Evans lectures at the Magic Circle. How standards have soared. Right, now, you have to fill the rest of this in. Sweetie, you happy with Sweetie? Yep. OK, right, just fill in. So the Magic Circle, which is where we are. And the date is the 8th. Pardon? The 9th. Oh, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Let's get that wrong. No wonder I've had my suit on for a day. Oh, dear. Right. There we are. So thank you very much, Grandad. It's been lovely meeting you. I'll never come to your golf club because you're now looking at me with total disdain because I'm just one of those clowny blokes who you find irritating. What am I saying? Right, so there we are. Would you like to come out? I'll try my best. I'll try my best for you, Ian. Would you like to come out, little girl? Just doesn't sound wrong when I say it, does it? Which is odd. Come on, you can come up. This is the person who looked after me at Buxton when, in between my compare spots, my temperature was rising by a degree. That's a bit of a concern, but it's not when you've got stage makeup and no one can see. So it's a bit of a self-indulgence. But a round of applause for Mandy Fletcher. Oh, Grandad, there's something else you need before you go. And that is from my perfectly ordinary-looking wallet, complete with zipper compartment. Do you know, is it only me that believes a wallet with a zip should be called a purse? There we have it. It's the ID that comes with a teddy bear. And I don't know if you can see on the screen, but it actually is for a teddy bear called Graham, who is 10 years old, and the new keeper is called Sweetie. This is for you, grandpa and granddaughter. Thank you very much. There we are, mate. Oh! But we haven't achieved anything, have we? We haven't achieved anything, because all I'm giving him is this lovely, lovely ID that's an extra toy for the teddy bear. No. What you need is the previous keeper's details. Steve Evans, magic bloke, mobile, phone, and everything else you need to get in touch with me, or what you might want to call a business card. Thank you very much. So there has been something sadly missing from this stage, and that is other people. So I'm going to invite some other people to come up and join us in a moment. I will do not exactly a sell, but I need you to be aware, because you will be here. I don't know who you are, but you are here. You will normally be one person. Sometimes you can be two, never three. And we sell this, and it is a data disk. It's not a DVD. You put it into your computer's CD drive, and it reads it. And takes off the data files that all of my lecture notes going back to 2000, the lecture information that is being presented here tonight, video clips of performances that I've done that feature lots of other material, but together with other things, and you'll see them all printed out and displayed on the table in the Devant room. And the reason that this isn't to sell, it's purely to identify you, because I don't know who you are yet. But you are here. You are here. I'm not saying it's you. I'm not saying it's you. I'm saying it could be you. Because this is a data disk. It contains files, PDF files of all of the information of everything that I've got for sale. In the longer version of the lecture, Dave and I mentioned this 7 times, that it's a data disk that you put in your hard drive. Now, one person will buy the disk, and I'm not saying it's you, mate, I'm not saying it's you, but one person will buy the disk, and we're very grateful for them to do so. Because, you know, if I sell 10 of these at £10, I may buy another house when I get home. But what will happen is this, see? Someone will phone and say, I bought your DVD, mate, and it didn't work. That's all I'm saying. Someone will phone, as they do after every lecture, and say, the DVD doesn't play. It's because it's not a DVD. That's why I mention it 7 times. All I'm saying is, it might not be you, but just in case it is, it's a data disk. I thought I'd point it out. So, we need someone to help. I need to stand for a bit. All right, so put yourself on pause, but not for too long. Now, Nick, you're not a card expert, but it doesn't really matter. But normally, I would have you return, but there's too much distance, and I need to sit down as much as possible. So would you give Nick a round of applause as he comes out, my new best friend? Lovely to see you. My name's Steve. Just in case you wanted to tell me you'd forgot my name, and then there's the medication and having to stay in and all of that. You wouldn't want that. So it's just a deck of cards. Yep. Would you just take a lump of cards? I want you to finally be left with 5, but I want the process to involve you taking more than 5, overhand shuffling them face down so you can't see them, having first examined them to make sure they're all different, then turning them face down, taking 5 out and putting the rest in your pocket so there's no way I can know what 5 those are, all right? But you just take a lump, but just from the same place. Don't muck about, mate. Yeah. Same place. There we are. There, there. You having those? Right? Add 10. Right. Right, so could you just have a quick look at them, just to make sure that they're all the same? They're all different? Quickly, all different? Yep. Lovely. And turn them over, give them a shuffle. And if you'd now like to just take out any 5 at random, and the fun will begin. Now, I can't read minds, folks. To be perfectly honest, I've got no idea what's happening inside my own head. Although I do know I'm currently in the London, which is why there's an awful lot of staring goes on. Do you know when I get home, not only do I no longer have an accent, me and my mate Dave are posh. Right, thank you, my friend, that's fine. It's best if I can't see them because it's a card trick, but it doesn't matter, you know, you're not into cards. You're not into cards even though you've got a pack sticking out of your waistcoat pocket. Are you teasing, Stephen, together with your Sharpie marker? No, I'm not into cards, but I have got a pack in my pocket with a Sharpie marker. I just didn't want to be identified as odd. Is that what you're thinking, mate? I didn't want the man who doesn't speak properly on stage taking the mick out of me. Is that what you thought? Just because I have no social life or real friends. So, no, I don't play well with others. It's been pointed at. So, Nick, you don't need to shake, mate. In fact, carry on shaking, but move a little bit further back, and you might find that does it for you. There we are. Not so scared now. Right, so put them in your pocket, if you will. There we go. Now, this is very simple. I'm using this handkerchief that was given to me by a gypsy. See, central magic. You've got to throw it in, haven't you? You've got to throw it in. Right. I want you to select one of the cards, if you will, right? So you find a little opening and just put your hand in there. Let me just get them so I can shake them up. Right, there we are. Right, so just find a little opening, put your hand in, do it nice and quickly, and don't let me see the card. Take the card and keep that one separate. That is your card, okay? Right, you got it? Marvellous. Right, now, we need 4 other people. Ed, could you come out, please? Give Ed a round of applause. And the lovely man behind him, I believe he's called Don, if you could come out as well. Would you come out as well? And the 2 handsome gentlemen who look almost like twins on the front. Out you come, boys. You can come out as well. There we are. Those, just take a card. Don't let anyone see them. If you can come, Nick, you can come and stand nice and close to me. The rest of you, you can stand a little bit further back. Croydon. That's too far. Right, if you just... over there. So just arrange yourself in order of most attractive to... but no, keep it at that then. Right. Trying my best. You get prizes as well, Nick. You can have whatever prize you like. You can have a prize. There we are. So take one and give them to the others, right? Have you ever been drawn on with a marker before? Oh, don't worry. Under the Mental Health Act, apparently, under my schedule, this is perfectly normal behaviour. Right, now. Lovely. I'm not doing any more. What can I say? What can I say? I'm not looking for booking. Not looking for bookings. Did you have a nice night at the Magic Circle as a guest? Yes. Yes, I did. Yes. Are you going to be going again? Possibly. Possibly sometime in the future. Okay, right. All look at your cards for me, but don't let me see them. Now, all I want to do is I'm no good at reading minds, but I am quite good at reading facial expressions. I'm going to name the 4 primary suits. Clubs, hearts, spades, very good, thank you. Diamonds, yeah, I've got those. So club, I'll have one of them there, that there, and I'll have that there. Now, ace, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I've got that one, have I? 3, yeah, that's fine. And 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you know, I think we're done. I don't think it's... No, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Now, I've got 4 cards written on here for a reason. Excuse my bad portering, but obviously I've never done this in this environment before. There's a trick called Hoy's tossed out deck, where a deck of cards is thrown into the audience, cards are glimpsed, people stand, the deck of cards is returned and hilariously falls to the stage. Happens every time. What are the odds of the magician never catching it? I've seen it done by loads of other people. I think it's something to do with the cards. It'd be heavy. And then when all 4 cards are named, then they all sit down. The reason for that is that's how it works. This works slightly differently. If I can't get your card, the present inside the envelope is yours. One of you currently, oh, you have my hanky. Oh, when you're wearing it, are you a Morris dancer? It's best to ask. If I get your card, only then do you show the card, come and put it on the table, but as you're doing so, you take centre stage, you show the prize you would have won, place it on the table, and then you get your round of applause from the indifferent people. Oh, sorry, valued audience. As you go now. Right, here we go. First card, 7 of clubs. Go on. 3 of diamonds? Ah, right, I've got one. I don't know about the 7 of clubs. This is called working out the out that you currently don't have. And what's the thing in there? 7 of clubs. Do you know, I think it might be the 7 of spades. 7 of spades. Oh, thank goodness, that's the out. 7 of spades. There we are, look. 7 of spades. Oh, put it on there, son. Move on. You could have bought yourself an entire new wardrobe. In Wolverhampton, you could have bought the wardrobe. 10 of clubs. Oh, we're back on track now. Right, then we are. Put it down there, son. What, have we already done the 3 of diamonds, have we? Have we done the 3 of diamonds? Oh, we've done the 3 of diamonds. Oh, yeah, they're all the same, mate. There's no way you're going to win. Off your trot. Haven't these people ever seen the 6 keys of bald pate? Dear goodness me. You expect more. Right, and 2 of hearts. It'll be 20 quid. There we are. Yeah, it did.
Except it won't be.
Yeah, I know that because I'll put it in there. It's scary, isn't it, really? Right. I can do yours, Nick, purely by prediction. I knew what yours was. I don't need to write it down. I say the card, you say yes or no. If you say yes, you go down. If you say no, you open the envelope. The contents of the envelope are yours. Queen of clubs. No. Hey? This is called theatrics. Which is, this is the magician who's got it wrong, right? Okay, this is like narrating what's happening. I'll go back into character now. Right, okay. Do that bit again. Right, okay. Queen of clubs.
No.
Oh, no, it's gone wrong. See, you pull them in, you pull them close, you see. They can tense the drama now. They can sense the drama. They're thinking, oh, no, the magician-y bloke, he's got it wrong. What's going to happen? What have you won? Have a look.
Nothing, sorry.
Turn it round, Nick. It's easier if the audience see it. No, not for you to see the back of the card. Are you part of a team just called Nick? Is that what it is? Have you got everyone coming tonight? Yeah, we've got all the normal members. Are one of the Nicks coming? Well, you can only have one. You can only have one in the room at any one time, otherwise there's fireworks. Oh, dear. Nothing, sorry, Nick, in there. You notice, shame. Do you notice? You notice in there, since way before the beginning of time. Terry's had his eye on it all the time. It's the last one, Tel. It's the last one. It's the last game. Right, so in there's a prediction. And your card is, because we don't know what it is, do you? Because we put it in your pocket. What is it?
4 spades.
Oh, no. Mm-hmm. But it's as wrong as the other one was. In here, look at my hands. It's quite incredible. Quite incredibly. In here, there is just one card. Works better with lay people. One card, and that card is the 4 of spades. No, it's just a bit of fun. I know. But of course, you see, being a magician, they have to all be the full spades. Thank you, Nick. Thank you for playing. You were lovely. Please go and sit back. And can I have the rest of my cards back? Otherwise, no, they were in your pocket. Were they not, Nick, the rest of your cards, my cards?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right, Nick. Yeah. Because I will follow you home, right? Well, everyone needs a hobby. When we do lectures, we have 2 halves. What we used to do, and we got into trouble for this, you know, Jeff. Oh, we got into trouble. We're mavericks, man. Mavericks. And it was just because I think we took it too seriously, really. But people used to go home at the interval. So all we did was, well, it didn't mean anything sinister. All we did was that we used to take a photograph of the audience before the interval. And then check it again afterwards, and anyone who'd left, because I don't work now, I used to hunt down with dogs. Now, it was pointed out to me, Jack, that was excessive. So I got rid of one of the dogs. Now, oh dear. I'm going to miss this. But I think, if something isn't important to you, well, then you don't miss it, do you, when it's gone. And the memories have been great. Come in here. So I did the convention, and I was booked to be I was booked to lecture here, and I was privileged to be booked to lecture here on the 23rd, and we had to cancel. And Mandy, bless her, who's one of my oldest friends in magic, phoned me up. And she said, we'll look at some new dates. So she sent me the new date. She said, the best new date we've got is June 2014. Now, you are allowed to laugh at that. Because to be perfectly honest, if I thought a guaranteed booking, if I thought the only thing I needed to guarantee being here was a booking, you could book me for lectures into the next 10 years. But I was in hospital and I was proper pooling. And you need to know that, because this won't make any sense if you don't need to know that my pooliness had taken me to a precipice. And I had an internal thing that meant that if it didn't correct itself over a short period of days, my journey would come to an end. It was very serious. It was not a light moment. And each morning, just after breakfast, the doctors would come in mob-handed, as is the case in oncology, and they would be looking for one sign. You see, the way of finding out that one is better, the earliest sign is when one goes to the loo. And each morning I'd gone to the loo, and they'd come in, and for 3 days I'd got a sullen face. And on the 4th day, I sat on the bed with my mobile phone in my hand. And I was just staring at it. Now, what they could see was a picture of my wife. And I was just looking at the mobile phone, sitting cross-legged with the biggest beaming smile a human being can have. And the doctors came in and they said, "Brilliant. Are you mended?" I said, "No, I've been made AIMC by the Magic Circle." They didn't take kindly to that. Apparently, I was being too flippant with my own mortality. I told them they simply didn't understand priorities. And they yielded to that and thought it was quite funny. And apparently that story has now appeared in a version of The Lancet. Didn't even know the thing still existed. So I'm going to finish with this. I'm going to invite someone to come out and help me to do this routine. I'm going to explain how the routine is done purely for the reason that an element of it, after years of performing it, presented itself to us yesterday, and it's a way of basically saying routines are never complete, but if you're going to find the answer to something that you've looked for years, find it the day before the last time you're ever going to perform it. So timing is everything. Ed, you've already been out once, so to ask you to come out again would be an indulgence. So I'm not going to, especially where there's the man behind you who looks far more entertaining from a distance. So, gentleman behind Ed, who looks confused. Bear with me a second, because I'm in the London. You do the English thing, yes? Oh, nodding. That's, yeah. Never good, right? So would you like to come out, sir? Give him a round of applause as he comes out. Hello, what is your name?
Steve.
Steve, oh, you're doing that for comedy purposes, aren't you, mate? Just trying to get yourself onto my good side. Nah, to be honest, nothing. Funny that, isn't it, you know? Some boys you strut... Anyway, right, now. Some sentences don't need completing. Now, Steve, these are hankies. Now, there's a lot of them. Now, there are children's entertainers here, so I could throw them on the floor and then make you pick them up half a dozen times. But let's just presume I'm professional enough to understand how funny that is. Watch, I'll show you. See? Hilarious. Right, now. Oh, no, I'm quite happy to fit in, because I've seen performances before. There we are, Nick. Take any one. That'll be that one, then. No, it works. It works. Hilariously funny. Which one would you like? Oh, you were a bit sneaky there, weren't you? Yeah. Right. You ain't got the hang of this, son, have you, really? Right. And I'll pick one for me. No. It's just a bit of fun. I'll have another one for the purposes of the fact that all these people are magicians. Right. All I want you to do is this, very simple. I just want you to hold that really tight in your left hand, just like that. Really tight. That's manly. That's very good, Steve. That's very good. Then all you do is take your other hand, which will be your right one, and just hold the corner there between your thumb and forefinger, right? Just in the very corner. That's it. For everyone to see. When I say now, you just pull. Right? And now. You're taking this seriously. So now, tell you what, just put that in that hand for a second, and just hold it a little bit nearer the middle, and just pull. Have you got buses to catch? I mean, that's the next step. It's not going to work. I tell you what, you have my nice collection of pieces, Steve, and I'll have your clump. I'll help you with that. It's not easy for you. Now, I want you to fold all of the pieces up into your hand. Put them into your left hand. Now take your empty right hand, put them into your trouser pocket, and take out some magic waffle dust. If you haven't got any magic waffle dust, just pretend. Right, okay. You got some? Yep. Let me have a look. Oh, lovely. Now, sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. Now, in a big, loud voice, I want you to hold the pieces out like that. In a big, loud voice, say, these are my pieces.
These are my pieces.
No, they're not, mate. This is your clump. Give me my bits back. What can you do, young people? Right, now, hold them out like that. These are my pieces.
These are my pieces.
All you have to do is blow. All the pieces, if you want to do them now, will magically join. Will magically join. And good night. Oh, dear. For years I've been doing this. Why can't it work? And have all shrunk into one small piece, which looks a little bit like a racing car. Brum, 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 brum. Brum, brum, brum. Brum, brum, brum. No. Ah! But of course we have Magic Steve, who's restored his perfectly. A round of applause for Magic Steve. You can keep this as a souvenir. Bear with me. You can keep this as a... You can keep this as a... Oh, dear. Oh, bear with me, Steve. Bear with me. Oh. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh. Thinking of hygiene. Am I clean?
Yes.
Thank you. You can keep that now as a souvenir. Probably not then. But a round of applause for Steve. Give him a round of applause. Dave will be selling these in the Devant room. And, you know, we could always do with a second house. So, but we like flats, so 3 or 4 will do. And those are for sale. And the person that buys the DVD, good luck to you, because you'll be phoning me at home. Data disc, well done. So, in 1961, on a council estate in Wolverhampton, very unspectacularly, a man was born to 2 people called Joan and Jim. And he lived on a council estate in Wolverhampton, and all he ever wanted to be was a building surveyor, which is strange when you're 5. But he never realised that even when 20 plus years ago he could have at least taken your coat. No, I've said enough. That he never realised that even when he developed hobbies, that meant that I came to London and I worked as a stand-up and I worked as a comedian and did different things. I was still a building surveyor for Wolverhampton Council. That's all this person was. And then 2 years ago, something extraordinary happened. Something quite unexpected and amazing. And this very ordinary man found himself, just like Mr. Ben in the cartoons, going on extraordinary journeys. The most extraordinary of journeys that involve many of you here. And if I was to have planned it, that last adventure of this most extraordinary of journeys would take place in a special place. It would be a place where I felt safe, amongst people I loved. It would look like this, and they would look like you, and I would forever be a building surveyor for Wolverhampton, humbled to be in your company, and a man who is now at the end of his adventure. Thank you for sharing your time with me.
I love you, Charles. Well done, mate.
Friends, I haven't dedicated this lecture to anyone, but if I did, please stay there, Roy. This is what I wanted to happen. I have many close friends, and one of my closest friends in magic is Paul Meagrum. And the reason I called him out on stage there is that hugging him stopped me crying. So that's what that was. It was very self-indulgent. I shall hand you back over to the host. Thank you ever so much for your hospitality, as always. It has been faultless. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I said right at the beginning of the evening that it's often a privilege to be able to introduce people this evening, and I felt absolutely privileged to be sitting there listening to this man. And he talked about his AIMC, and personally, I'd gladly give him my MIMC tonight because I think he thoroughly deserves it. Can we hear it one more time, please, for Steve Evans?